So you just got your first raw denim jeans, or you're thinking about getting your first pair of raw denim jeans. But when you tried to Google some frequently asked questions about them, you were immediately overwhelmed with completely irrelevant information about different types of looms and types of indigo dyes and types of yarn and slub and nep, and you just want to wear jeans. I get it. I personally find that stuff interesting, but you actually don't need to know any of that stuff. That stuff is kind of like an expanded universe series of novels for people who just want to watch a movie. So if you are a regular dude who heard that raw denim jeans are cool because they fit better and they fade better, you are right, and they do. But you do need to know a few things to make sure that you don't wreck your jeans or your furniture or your shoes or all your other clothes. So this is your bare bones starter guide to raw denim. And I want to jump right into it because the first tip is one that I've never heard people give in videos like this. But none of these tips will make sense if I don't first clarify the big difference between all the other jeans you've worn and raw denim jeans, which is that even if they're not pre-faded jeans, even if you bought them dark blue, all the other jeans you've worn before were washed at the factory before you bought them. There are a few reasons they do that. One is to get rid of excess dye so that your jeans are less likely to make all your other stuff blue and it makes them easier to wash. The other reason is because raw denim is full of starch, which most people don't find very comfortable. They add starch to the fabric when it's getting made because when it's starchy, the fabric is easier to work with. Like it makes the yarns stick to each other a bit more, keeps them from unraveling while they're getting cut and sewn, that kind of stuff. And then once the jeans are made, then they'll wash out the starch, unless they're gonna sell it as raw denim. So yes, it is true that raw denim is more stiff. It is less comfortable, from the get-go anyway. But a lot of guys find that if they buy raw denim, and especially when they delay the first wash for a while, starchy raw denim does a better job of taking up the shape of your body. In other words, it's meant to fit better. Plus, your jeans will fade, and you are the one who made the jeans fade as you wear them, as opposed to buying them pre-faded. So like these fades here, they're all mine, so I like them more than if I bought them pre-faded. It's kind of intangible, metaphysical aspect of it, but like it's nice to have more ownership over your favorite pants, right? And as the comments in my video to a jeans fading factory show, many people consider pre-faded jeans as some form of stolen valor as well. I wanted to start with a tip that no store clerk has ever told me, and I had to learn myself. Number one, the legs of your raw denim jeans will get shorter with wear. This is a big reason why it's actually fine and not stupid to cuff your jeans. So you actually don't want to hem them to the perfect length when they are new. You want to leave some allowance there. There are two reasons why the legs get shorter. The first is that denim that has never been washed will shrink a little bit the first time you wash it. Not a massive amount, but it will still shrink, and it will shrink more vertically than it shrinks horizontally, just because of like how the weave works. The other reason you should leave your jeans a little longer, even after you've washed them a few times, is the phenomenon called honeycombing, which refers to what happens behind the knees of your jeans as you wear them. This is how Brandon Svark put it. He's the CEO of Naked and Famous, which is a very good raw denim brand.
So when you fold a piece of paper, it makes like a memory to the fold, right? It doesn't just magically go back to the way it was. And we call this like creating a memory to that fold. It's the same thing with your jeans. When you take a pair of raw denim and wherever your knees are, it creates kind of a memory. It starts to crease and fold in those areas. And every time you walk, it makes those same creases. So those creases will start to bend and start to break through that rope dyed dyeing that we do. And you get these beautiful honeycomb fades. Yeah, like these, exactly.
Your jeans bunch behind the knees, and it also slowly pulls up the cuffs of your jeans, whether you want them to or not. So you won't really know how long the legs are going to be until you've worn them long enough to get them all honeycombed. So definitely keep that in mind when you are deciding how to hem your jeans. And on that note, this next tip, number two, is another one that I took years to learn, and it might be the most widespread example of guys way overthinking their jeans. And that is, number two, it does not matter how you get your jeans hem. Raw denim brands tend to sell all their jeans in one length, and then you hem them to wherever you want. And guys all over the world spend so much time and money trying to find the right machine to hem their jeans. This is because they've been told that hemming with a vintage chain stitch machine, usually a Union Special, is the best way to hem expensive, nice jeans. But it took many years and many pairs of jeans before I was like, why though? Why can't I just spend way less time and money and get them hemmed at the dry cleaners? The answer is you totally can't, because the only real reason to go to all the effort and expense of finding a vintage Union Special is if you are very interested in how the jeans will fade way down here at the hem. Right here is the chain stitch. This tiny little 1/4 inch of the jean will fade a tiny bit differently if you get it hemmed this old-fashioned way, and that's pretty much the whole game. These are my most faded jeans. They're from Pure Blue Japan. I got them hemmed with that vintage machine, and can you see how the fades along the hem here are a little bit wavy? That's called a roping effect. And if you love that look, or if you like the historicity angle of raw denim and you like the hemming to also be old-fashioned, sure, okay, then it's worth it. But like, do you actually care about this? I was into raw denim for years before I was like, wait a minute, I don't give a shit about how wavy the fades are on the bottom of my pants, near my shoes. What am I doing? What am I doing here? There's one other reason that guys like to hem with a chain stitch machine, which is that the thread down there is less likely to break than the way your dry cleaner will hem them. This is true, but it also means that if it does break anyway, then the whole stitch can unravel and unspool out of your jeans more easily than if you did it with your dry cleaner. You can actually see that on this pair of old jeans I had here and this shot here. That won't happen if you just get them hemmed locally, right? All right, those are the 2 tips I don't think I hear experienced denim guys talk about. Next up are the tips that a lot of guys probably think I should have started the video with. Hey, if you watched this far, you probably like cool jeans, so you might be interested in the kind of brands that we stock at wisegoods.com, which is, and here in Pekalongan, Central Java.
Here in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam.
Here in the capital of Kuala Lumpur, Bandung, Indonesia.
We're here searching for the most interesting and underrepresented raw denim brands in Southeast Asia.
That all have their own specific identities and practices that are really interesting ways of tying in local traditions and the tradition of US workwear and Japanese selvage.
It's all here, it's all cool, and it's all uncovered.
So that URL is right here on screen now. Check it out to explore many brands that you simply can't get anywhere else in the United States.
So, number 3, if you've just bought your first raw denim jeans, you should know basically all raw denim bleeds dye before you've washed it a few times. Indigo is actually not a very good dye because it fades very easily and chips off the yarn very easily, and that's why people like it. Raw denim is not by definition dyed with indigo that fades, but it pretty much always is. And especially when it hasn't been washed at the factory to make the fabric lose a bunch of excess dye, then you are the one who makes your jeans lose the excess dye. So critically important you know that raw denim bleeds dye. The practical takeaway is do not sit on anything white. Do not wear shoes that you don't want to get a little bit blue, especially if they're white shoes or if they're high top shoes or boots where the collar will have more contact with the cuffs of your jeans. It's called crocking, and never ever get them wet. When they are wet, they transfer dye much more easily. So obviously that means getting caught in the rain can be more consequential, but also even if you're like the kind of guy who washes his hands and then wipes them on his pants, and then maybe you sit down and you'll rest your hands on your thighs, and if you're wearing long sleeves, the fabric at your wrists will get blue, right? And if you then rest your arms on the armrest of your friend's couch, you'll be in very big trouble. Raw denim jeans are higher risk at destroying things than people might expect for something that's meant to be a casual, relaxing garment to wear, right? Now, remember this is not always going to be the case. Once you've washed your raw denim jeans a couple times, even if the jeans don't look super faded yet, most of that extra transferable dye will have washed out. But the newer the jeans are, the more dangerous they are. Number 4, you must know how to wash raw denim. And I know that Googling how to wash raw denim is a fool's game because you'll just get Reddit post after Reddit post of guys arguing about exactly how to do it in order to get the sickest fades, and how some will say, no, you should put them in the freezer instead of washing them. No, you should wash them in the ocean. This is it for a normal guy. This is the normal guy's guide to washing raw denim. Turn them inside out, wash them on cold, and only wash them with other blue or black clothes. or bed sheets or towels or whatever. You don't need to buy special detergent. You don't need to wash them on their own. You don't really need to do this for the lifespan of the jeans either, because the dye bleed, again, is mostly a problem just for the first couple of washes. And you don't need to wait a year to wash your jeans for the first time. You can just wash them as often as you've washed all your other jeans before this. Some people like to wait a very long time between washes, especially before that first wash, partly because the longer your raw denim jeans are starchy, the better they will shape to your body, maybe. And the other reason people like to not wash very much is because it makes them fade a little bit differently. Long story short, washing less often means there will be more contrast in your fades. Washing more regularly will make the fades more consistent throughout the jeans. In either case, no matter how often you wash them, they'll still fade, it'll still be cool. And most people in the real world will not say, hey, nice fades, too bad they're not higher contrast, or think that one kind of fading is cooler than another. If you do, cool, you should watch this video I have that's a guide to all the tips and tricks for getting the sickest fades in the whole wide world. If you're a regular dude, you just want jeans that fit a little bit better and that you get to fade yourself, you can wash them whenever you want. And when you do that, turn them inside out, wash them on cold with similar colors. That's it. And then your jeans will be wet. And the next bit is important enough that I made it its own entry. Number 5, the 5th thing to know about if you have just bought raw denim, now that you know how to wash them, you should know how to dry them. And the answer is just hang dry them. It's not that complicated. How to dry your jeans is less important than what to do with wet jeans. And by that I mean, do not put your jeans in the washing machine and then go out for a few hours and then come back to your wet jeans with a plan to then hang them up and dry. I did that to some very expensive Ironheart jeans, and this was the results. Because if raw denim sits in a crumpled wet pile, then because the dye is more mobile and for other reasons, those wrinkles will get baked into the dye and your jeans will look like they have varicose veins. This is called marbling. Some people might pretend that they like it. No one actually does like it. It sucks. So as soon as your denim is finished washing, go hang it up to dry. Don't let it sit there wet. And what's interesting with the drying is I've interviewed many experts and many brand founders, and they're actually, when you're at that higher level of the game, they're actually pretty much all in agreement about what I just said about how and when to wash them. But they do still argue about how to dry them, because plenty of them say that a dryer is too harsh on the fibers and will shorten the lifespan of the jeans and mess with the fit. Others say, don't worry about it, man, they're casual pants, they're meant for work, it's not a big deal. In this instance though, because there's more debate actually about how to dry than how to wash, I think just err on the side of safety and hang dry them. Wash them hotter might make them lose a bit more dye. It might also shrink them a little bit. Maybe you want that, maybe you don't, whatever. Now those 5 tips I think are the most crucial information you should know. There's maybe one more tip that is less important and involves more jargon, I'm afraid, but you should probably know it anyway. The last tip is that you should double check if the denim you are buying or have bought is Sanforized or unsanforized, because if it's unsanforized, you've probably got a problem. Now, practically all denim is Sanforized. It's a way of treating the fabric so that it doesn't shrink too much on the first wash. It's not the same as washing it, but if you have heard the word shrink to fit used to describe old Levi's jeans, that's because everything used to be unsanforized. Sanforized jeans will shrink a little bit on the first wash, but not very much. If it's unsanforized, it'll permanently shrink like up to 10%, like a good like 2 sizes sometimes. So if you accidentally bought unsanforized raw denim and you like the way it fits, you're kind of in trouble because either you can return it for a bigger size, or you can be a guy who doesn't wash his denim, or you can get it cleaned at the dry cleaners. Even though the dry cleaning will still shrink them a little bit, and they'll even shrink a little bit if you never wash them because of just the sweat and the heat from your body. Because sanforizing is basically heat and moisture being applied in a certain way most of the time. If you do not know if your jeans are sanforized or not, if it doesn't say so on the product page where you bought them, then don't worry, they're definitely sanforized. Most jeans are sanforized because brands don't want to deal with returns and customers don't want to have to guess how their jeans will fit once they're not able to be returned, like once they've washed them. But some jeans in this world of raw denim are sold unsanforized for a range of reasons. Some like the historicity, they like it being just more old-fashioned. Some like the rougher texture that you tend to get on unsanforized denim. Some brands just don't have access to sanforization machines, which is especially true of like brands in Southeast Asia, which I work with actually at wisegoods.com. Go and sign up below. And my very first raw denim jeans that I bought, they were Japanese, they were unsanforized. I had no idea what it meant, and it was a whole thing. So it does happen. If they are unsanforized, they will shrink anywhere from 2 to 10% on the first wash, unless they are labeled as unsanforized and 1 wash. That means they've washed them to remove that shrinkage, but that preserves some of the other elements of unsanforized jeans. So like they twist around the leg in a certain way with wear that some people like, that kind of stuff, but you don't have to worry about the shrinkage. So basically, get it sanforized or unsanforized 1 wash, and you shouldn't have too much of a headache. I hope I taught you that while there's a whole world you can get super into, you are actually also allowed to bypass it and just wash your jeans whenever you want and not think that much about it if you want. And otherwise, subscribe to this channel for more stuff about casual and durable boots and menswear, and I'll catch you in the next video.